What is worse, retiring without any sort of activities or plans or idea of what you're going to do once you're no longer working full time? And as we've seen a lot of our grandparents and parents even, they drop over. They whether they die of boredom or inactivity, and that just adds to whatever health problems are festering there. But so many times we hear of people finally retiring. They're going to work until 65, 68, 70, beyond. They come home and they're dead within months, a year maybe. So that's one extreme that I use to motivate myself. But another one is emerging. And I'm finding that a lot of people, not just Generation X, but those a bit older, probably the tail end of the baby boomers, the youngest of the baby boomers, I'm hearing in the comments and in just general conversation with coworkers and stuff that a lot of them are still working in their late 60s and 70s. They've put in 27, 40 years with these companies, and they are bound and determined to retire, but they're tired. And a lot of them are retiring because their health is failing. They cannot work any longer. Now, a lot of us Gen Xers, we are going to continue working because maybe we didn't save enough. Maybe we weren't as proactive. Perhaps there was some sort of event that kept us from being able to not touch what we were setting aside for retirement, not security. Does not matter how you got there. Some of us are there, meaning we don't have enough money to not work, even with Social Security. This forces us to look at our own mindset and our mentality of what are we living? So what if we have to keep working? What if we never hit that mythical, elusive retirement? Doesn't happen for us, doesn't happen for you. What is our life going to look like during the rest of our working years? I've started practicing my retirement. I have already started taking my evening hours, my off work hours, and pretending like I'm retired. I'm pursuing the different hobbies and activities that I've been putting off for many decades. I'm revisiting those activities I loved with my nieces and nephews when they were much younger that they've come full circle and they're back into again. So those are things that we can continue doing. What are y'all doing? There was a lady who left a comment that she is 70, 27 years on the job. She's tired. She is burnt out. She's spirit is broken. If you need to continue working until said point that you finally have less expenses, paid off your debt, et cetera, and you now have what you need in Social Security and what you need in whatever you've put together for retirement to meet your core needs. And let's talk about that for a minute. You can't do anything until you know how much you need. And your number is different than mine and different than the person you work with. Your number is unique to you. So this is the time. Go to the description. Get Master Your Money Plan. I've just released the Retirement Reality Reset Kit. It's a 30-day workbook to get you through and understand what you need today, what you're going to need in retirement, and the runway time that you have to make the changes, to pay off the debt, to stack up cash, to beef up your 401k and investments. Go and grab that. There's also a coupon down there in the description to get that off. And to make it super easy for those of us who hate keeping track of anything, I've built a spreadsheet for you that you just plug in your numbers and it does the math for you and shows you what you make, what you spend, the gap, and then walks you through. There's an expense detox spreadsheet there too. There's all sorts of little bonus gifts for you. So go grab that. But let's get back to living like we're retiring, because if you're going to keep working, whether by choice because what else you gonna do with your time? By necessity, because you ain't got enough money, or you need to pay off debt, or just because you really haven't given it any thought. Start living better now, because you are as young right now as you're ever going to be, probably in the best health you're ever going to have. Start your retirement activities now. If there's trips you want to take, let's go ahead and start putting aside money to take them. Use your vacation time while you still have the safety net of a job and an income and benefits. A lot of us are pre-65, which means if we leave our full-time jobs, health insurance is on us, and that can be a little costly. So go ahead, and if you're going to stick with your company that you're with now, stick with them, but begin utilizing this season of life. The youth of your senior years is what we're in. I just turned 58, staring down the barrel of 60. How about y'all? Leave in the comments. Are you surprised you're at the age you are now and you still haven't done all those things you wanted to do? I want to go see Machu Picchu. I understand that's a pretty extreme physical activity to get there. I could probably do it now. Am I going to be able to do it in 5 years, 10 years? I don't know. I'm working on keeping myself healthy and fit so that my senior years are not years that I have to be taken care of. But life happens. I made a lot of stupid choices in my past that could possibly catch up with me. Also, while you still have your health insurance through your company, go ahead and face the music. Go get those tests you might have been putting off. Genetic testing for predisposition to Alzheimer's, etc. Better to know and prepare than not know. And well, with Alzheimer's, you wouldn't even know that you don't know. With me, because of the years of smoking, I've started working with a cardiologist to get a baseline. We're all grateful. I quit 13 years ago. However, looking at my test results now, I wish I had never started. So younger me out there, if you are in your 20s, 30s, or 40s and you're still smoking cigarettes, stop it. The piper you're going to have to pay on all sorts of levels is not worth the addiction and the enjoyment that it is now. So there you go. There's your public service announcement. Stop smoking. But all of you, I challenge you, start one thing this week. And in the comments, tell me what that's going to be. You want to start living like you're retiring. What is that? What is that? For me, I started saying yes to fishing. I'm also starting to face some of, do I call them fears, social phobias? I've always been a nonconformist, but my nephew enjoys urban fishing and we've got all these bayous, and they call them bayous. To me, they're just big drainage ditches. But apparently they're good fishing, but they usually run alongside neighborhoods or apartment complexes and things without necessarily public parking and access. So my nephew's got no qualms whatsoever from parking in a parking lot and walking down to the bayou to fish. Lots of people do it. You're always seeing people out there doing it. To me, it was like, oh, it's not right. It's not our parking lot. What are they going to do? What, you run us off? Okay. Arrest us? That's a little extreme. Okay. If we ever got ran off, maybe they'd be a warning. But some of the things that I have chosen not to be adventurous and do because I didn't want a black mark or be on the 6 o'clock news at this age of my life, because back in my teenage and 20s, I couldn't have cared less. If you ran with me in Mobile, Alabama, you know, I was pretty adventurous. But with my nephew, I've started to say, let's do it. Let's try it. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? That's the old lady I'm going to be. So you guys look out for that. All right. I'm Jenny. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff. I post on Saturdays and Wednesdays, sometimes in between like this, a jigger of gin. I had something to say. I want to get off my chest because I'm impressed with all the comments. And I applaud you folks, you ladies especially, for taking the bull by the horns, pulling up your big girl panties and getting to work on this. But for those of us who do have to continue working and possibly past 70, don't put off all of your hopes and dreams and things you wanted to do. Start doing them now. Make the time and get on with it. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording.